Okay, so we're recording June 14th, Elite Empire. It's basically going to go over some of the things that came in my head from the national wake-up call. Hold on, I'm going to mute everyone, sorry. For the national wake-up call from this week. I listened to it today on my walk. And also just things that I've been wanting to say, so it was just kind of like she said what I had to say, and it kind of gave me ideas on how I wanted to say it. So obviously, you know that I love giving my motivational speeches to you guys, but I also feel like at this point, everyone needs a little tough love. So I'm going to do a little bit of both. But what I want to start with is a part of my story that I feel like I never shared with you guys in full, like all the way, because I think it's really important to understand who I was before Beachbody, as far as not just my weight and stuff, but who I was as a person. Because I think you guys get like the fun and quirky Angela all the time, and like you just assume that's me. And I'm not saying it wasn't, because I've always been social and I've always been quirky. Anna's known me a really long time, so I've really never been much different in that sense. But I did have like a dark side where I was super depressed, and I had so I have expressed that before in some of my posts and whatnot. But like what I want to really step on is something that she kind of reminded me of, and my personality was super depressive. So even, for example, and it still is. So even, for example, yesterday, I didn't work out because I just made a decision not to. I was like feeling like a robot because I'm so into my program and I've been doing so well, which is all good things. But I'm the kind of person that I start to feel like I'm like, once everything gets too good, like I'm like, oh, I have to screw it up, you know? So yesterday I was just like, you know what? I don't need to work out today. I don't need to eat good today. Like blah, blah. I did end up eating good, but I had Dairy Queen at the end of the night, which was total, I was so sick all night. But I didn't work out. And because I didn't work out, I literally spent the day obsessing over the fact that I was like doing this to myself. I literally sat here, like I sat in my sunroom for hours doing nothing. Like I just watched my kids play. I sat with them. I was doing it to be more present for them, but I also found myself being completely unpresent because I didn't know what to do with myself or my body or my mind. I felt so out of sorts. And so for me, working out in the morning is non-negotiable because it's my endorphin and it's my happy place. And sometimes I don't want to do it, but when I do it, I know that I'm better for that day. So no matter how I get it done, I do it, even if it's not the best workout in the world, because I'd rather do it than obsess over it. But it all comes back to who I was before this. And the reason that I am so passionate and disciplined is because I'm the kind of person that if I'm not all in, then I'm not in. So I have to be all in. And I think that a lot of you probably can relate to that. And I already see that Kayla wrote that she's good at self-sabotage. And it's true because most of us have come here because we probably at some point were good at self-sabotage or needed that discipline or needed someone to kick our butt or to put us in place or to relate to or whatever the reason is that we're here. So I just want to like make that clear because I think it's easy to look at the people that are diamond or the people that are doing good in the company and think, wow, they got it all together. Like people are constantly telling me like, you're super mom, you're super this, but what goes on behind the scenes is like so much more. Sometimes what goes on up here is so much bigger than just like being a good mom or being whatever. It's just like self-love and self-passion and just passion in general. And there has been times where I was addicted to things that weren't good for me, like drinking or, you know, going out. And sometimes I wouldn't even know where I was when I'd wake up in the morning because I was so self-sabotaging as far as like the way I treated my body and myself. My 20s were like a blur, the beginning of my 20s. Between 13 and 21, I don't even know where that went because all I did was drink and party, and I was just thought that was who I was, right? So, you know, the point is that if you have something, a demon, everyone does. You're not alone. I had a crazy past, and I'm a different person now, and that's who I am. And you're allowed to change, and you're allowed to redefine yourself. I feel like some people hold back because they think, well, no one's going to take me seriously because I was a party girl, or no one's going to take me seriously because they know I used to binge eat, or I had an eating disorder, or I had this or that. But that's why people take you seriously, because I know that my closest friends love what I do the most because they see where I came from and they know where I came from. And they think, wow, like if you're doing this from all the BS that you used to do, like anybody can do it. So I'm going to do it. And I know that for a fact because they even tell me, you know? So that's just kind of a backstory because I really want you guys to understand that I didn't come from rainbows and sunshine, and I'm not like some person that walks around my house thinking, wow, life is so glorious all the time, because to be honest, I am way happier and more positive than I've ever been. And it's really hard for me to find something to be upset over. But so then I self-sabotage myself, like Kayla said, where I will be like, oh God, I just hate being a mom and I just hate being a wife. And maybe I shouldn't have married my husband. I don't even know if I like him anymore, you know? So like I have all these crazy thoughts day by day. And I'm sure like you guys are probably laughing on the inside thinking like, oh my God, sometimes I feel the same way, because there are people out there that do. And I just want you guys to hear that, because I think it's really important to understand that we're not all put together. We're not all perfect. We're not all psychos either, but we all have our own shit basically. So the reason I say this is because the next few things that I'm going to tell you, it all goes back to this. So with all of this that you know about me now, and you know that I'm self-sabotaging, you know that I could give up easily. I don't really feel like anything was made for me. I never felt like at the end of the day I was going to be something huge. I never thought I would be a big deal or anyone would listen to me about anything. I always just, settled for doing a really good job at whatever job I did for someone else. That's who I was. But going into the next few things, I realized that's not who I am anymore. So number one, the first thing I want to talk about is downlines in general. So we all want rank advancement, right? This is the big thing, the big picture. Everyone wants to be emerald and everyone wants to be diamond. But what happens after you make emeralds, or what happens after you make diamonds? Don't create downlines unless you are prepared to be a leader. Don't create downlines unless you're prepared to show up to not only your health and fitness, but also your business. Because if you are creating downlines and not showing up, then it's not fair to add that person to your team or to your network. If you know in your heart that you're not sure about this business, don't make it a business. Make it a hobby for now, and then decide if you want to be a business, okay? Because I just see too often people that get left behind, and you do not need a downline or an upline to support you, because you can do this on your own, and there's tons of top coaches that have, and you'll hear their stories nonstop. Like, I don't even have a coach, like Lindsay Mattaway didn't even have a coach, and they did it, and that's fine. But in the game that we're in now, I mean, people basically know how it works. So don't be one of those people that leave someone behind. Like, don't do it. If you're not ready to commit to your business, or to showing up, or to checking on these people, or to be in a support system, then don't. No one says you have to. But that's just something I wanted to address first, because I really want you guys to know that it's like, don't make that a stigma, right? Like, let's take that out of Elite Empire and make it into the opposite of that. Like, let's build strong downlines. Let's build strong teams, leaders, people that really do get results on their fitness and health. I mean, you cannot dictate what people do. I can sign up Anna, Donna, and they could say, oh my God, I want to do everything and I want to be the biggest coach in the world. And then next week, they don't even answer my text messages. I can't control that, but I can control what I give to them. And I know that I'm showing up even if they're not answering me. And I know that I'm still doing what I have to do, even if they're not. So don't be the person that creates a downline if you're not going to show up to your downline. That's number one. So once you have one person on your downline, you are now a leader and you're now a business owner, and you've decided that this is not a discount hobby coach type thing. This is a business type thing. And even if you put everything into one coach and you don't plan on building anymore, then still give that to your coach, because it's not fair. It's not fair to take away what someone else might have a passion for by not showing up to it after you've already given them that dream of what they think they can have. And if, in the same sense, if you've done it and then you decided you don't want to anymore, that's fine too. You can just tell your upline, listen, I don't really want to do this anymore, but this person's still on my downline. Can you take them over? And that's fine, and it's respectable. So I just want to put that out there. Number two, and this is the number one thing that's gotten me through my business, is discipline. And we talk a lot about discipline, and what discipline comes down to is always the 4 vital behaviors. And I know that we talk about this 1,000 times, and that's all anyone talks about, but it's because it's the formula that works. It's a thing that works. And like I said, and this is going to go into number 3, but if you're not doing the 4 vital behaviors, you're not making it a business. You're not making it a priority, because number 1 is to be the product of the product, right? Or it's really number 2, but you know what I mean? Like, for me, it's non-negotiable to not wake up and be the product of the product. How do you expect people to want to work out or drink shakes or do performance line or do these things if you don't do it? Like, I don't know if I would ever listen to someone that told me, oh my God, drink this shake, but I don't drink it. Like, why would I drink a shake that you don't like? I mean, if you're honest about it and there's a reason you can't drink it, or you just don't like it, like, be honest and say, I personally don't like the shake because of this reason. But here's all the people on my team that do. Here's the people that are drinking it. this is what's going on in the back, you know? Give that connection, because you have to be an honest coach. I've told you guys the story before. I didn't do the 21-day fix when I started as a coach because I didn't need it, but I was honest and I said, listen, I don't need the 21-day fix. I know how to eat. I was already like fit. I was already doing T25. I was doing harder stuff. The extreme didn't exist at that time. I really didn't need portion control. I was on a different diet, which some of you can relate to now because you do like bodybuilding or you're doing bikini competitions or whatever else. But I said, I know it works. I've seen it. I see the people on the team. I see the people in the groups. This is an amazing system. I looked into it. I know what it's about, and I can help you through it because I've researched it, but I didn't physically do it. And I actually found my list today of my very first sheet of customers for my first month of business, and I sold 17 fixes. 17 fixes before I ever did it. But I didn't ever tell any of those people that I did it. I never lied. I was honest. So you need to be disciplined in the sense that you need to show up. And it doesn't mean you love Shakeology. It doesn't mean you love Performance Line. It doesn't mean you love Energize, but you need to be honest, but you need to be doing something. You can't just show up to Beachbody and not be part of Beachbody at all. That's not going to fly, because if you're not the product of the product, you can't commit to help someone do a product that you don't do. And that's just the bottom line. So the people that go inactive because they don't have shakes, you know, or they don't have something, for me, I just feel like that's crazy. Then why are you even trying to coach other people? If you're a discount coach, that's a completely different story, because you're just there to get a discount. And if you need to skip a month because you don't have the money, that's fine. But the first thing that we try to accomplish as coaches is to pay for our own product. So that should be your goal. That should be the ultimate goal. That was my only goal when I started, was I wanted to cover my shakes. Like, awesome, get to keep these shakes forever. And guess what? It's 2.5 years later of shakes and 2 years later of a coach, and I'm still drinking them. I've never had to miss them. I never had to miss them because I never had a reason to not afford them, because I always cover my shakes with my customers. And that's the bottom line. And that should be your drive every single month, because if you're in this business, you love it. You love what you're doing. So why skip months when you have this opportunity in front of you to make the money to cover it, right? And don't be selfish and say, I sold to 3 people, but we really need that $90, because that $90 is going to keep being $90 every month, because you're not drinking the shakes and you're not being accountable. So what makes you think you're going to make more than $90 in a month if you're not showing up to your business or your product, right? The other part of it is that when you're doing your vital behaviors, you're inviting. And when you're inviting, it doesn't mean, like I said earlier, if you saw the live call, that you're inviting with just your product. You're inviting people into your life. You're inviting people into your feeling, into the way that you think now, the way your positivity, you're generating something different in people's lives. I know that 90% of the people that sign up with me want to lose weight, but they also want to feel good, and they also want to be healthy mentally. And that's what I offer to people, is mental health, because I can't promise that I'm going to make them lose 100 pounds, because I can't physically be there to make them do their program, but I can promise that I'm going to support them and be mentally there for them no matter what. And I get people messaging me all day long about nothing that has to do with fitness and health, but has to do with their personal life. And I've offered that to them. And because I offer that to them, they're able to get through the other part of it. So that's what it's all about. If you're not being disciplined, that separates you. Well, discipline separates you from being a business coach and a hobby coach. So if you just want to be a hobby coach, obviously that's your own prerogative, and that's your decision. No one says, but then again, go back to number one, don't create a downline. Do not create a downline if you've decided that you're a hobby coach. Hobby coaches only sell to people. They don't create a downline. They don't create a team. Because if you're a hobby coach, you decided you're not going to show up to your business every day, and you're not going to show up to business at all. So even if you're on these calls because you like them, but you don't want to do anything after these calls, fine. But be honest with yourself and admit that you're a hobby coach. Don't try to build a business where you're not gonna show up. Okay? Business coaches show up. They product every day, invite every day, recognize all of these things. Personal development is so important. We can't even stress that anymore. I literally do it 2 to 3 times a day because my kids are insane. Actually, like, Anthony's screaming in the background now, and he's been sleeping for an hour. So I'm like, my mind is about to explode. But, you know, that's just the way that my life is. So I need that personal development to show up to my business. Because if it was up to the way that I feel with my kids every day, or my husband, or whatever else that life throws at me, I wouldn't show up, because sometimes I just feel like shit, and I don't want to sit there and be like, hey, sunshine, rainbows, life is perfect. So I need to personally show up to my personal development to remind me how I feel when those moments are over. The moment of him stop screaming or putting whipped cream all over my house today or spreading Parmesan cheese all over the floor, when that moment has passed, I have to remember what I feel like inside by doing my personal development and bringing me back to that positive spot. So it's not just about your business or whatever else. It's just mental. It's all mental, and you guys need to be mentally healthy in more than one way to be able to serve your business or serve other people. So the next thing is Success Club, and I just want to say again, really stress this to you guys. Like, I don't want to stop stressing this to you guys. Non-negotiable. Like, it is not, because you need to be networking. You will not build your business every day by not networking, by not adding to your network. Stop looking for your warm network. Stop looking for your friends and family to support you only. Stop looking for the referrals to come to you. I go out and I check with everybody physically, and I'm present daily, because those are what brings in referrals. Those are what brings in the likes and the comments and the views. And I'm constantly there to let you know that I'm not just the person that clean, not just the person that works out. I'm not just a mom. I'm not just a wife. I do a lot of different things. So I try to give myself in different ways all the time by networking myself, but as well as searching for people like me. I added like 6 amazing people on Instagram this week, and I loved them all, and I made a connection with all of them. I didn't sell a thing to any of them yet, but I hope that one day we're going to have a good enough connection. And some of my favorite people in the world I've met through networking, by looking through Instagram, by searching through Facebook, by seeing comments on other people's pages that were on something that they liked on my page, or so on and so on and so on and so on. And I love those people. They're like my best friends now. Like, even on this call, like the coaches that are on the call that I didn't know before at all in my real life, they're like my best friends now. Like, I talk every single day to these people, and I know everything about them, and they know everything about me. And that's just what networking does. It gives you more network for your business, but it also opens you up to being more open to those people around you. And if you're not open to people around you and you're not searching for them, they're not just going to fall on your lap. They may for a little while, or for a month, or even here and there. You might like have a wind of people that show up in your network on their own, but that's not going to last. And you can ask any of us, like, we all have months where we're like, okay, gotta find new people, fresh faces, fresh thing. But for me personally, networking comes down to the vibe, right? Like, I love adding people that love fitness, that love health. I love adding people that want to build a business. I love people that just want to work out with me every day. Like, one of my coaches from Instagram, we literally text all day long about our squats and our this and our that. Like, we just connect all day long about that. And like, we barely ever talk about Beachbody. She's just starting to get into, like, you know, Insanity and Shakeology. She was a little weary, but we talk all the time, all day, because she's now one of my like best friends, social media wise. Darby is my coach. I met her through Instagram. I stalked her. I messaged her. I deleted and ran away. And now she's one of my best friends. Like, there's no way other to describe it than to say that you're creating a relationship. But you guys can't hit Success Club without adding to that network. All right. It has to be for the right reasons, and you have to go for no. So that's something I've been guilty of. I've always kind of just like gone slow and like inched my way in, and I'm like, all right, eventually they'll want to know more. But you know what? I learned, if I love this person and I'm like ready to like just tell them, then I'm just going to say it, because that's where recognize comes in, right? So the 6 people that I contacted on Instagram, I was like, listen, I am going to tell you straight up. I've been a coach for 2 years, and I like generally don't just message someone on the first try and say, hey, I really think that you should be a coach with me. But here I go, because I love you and I think you're amazing. And I think that you would benefit from doing this. And I think you would help a lot of people. So let me know what you think. All of them watch my video. All of them are interested. All of them are researching it. And that's it. I planted 6 seeds of really awesome people that would be awesome coaches. And I went for them to tell me, absolutely not, I'm not interested, go away, but whatever. And instead I got, you know what? I've been looking for something to do. I don't know if this is it yet, but I'll look into it. Keep me updated, answer my questions, add me on Facebook, et cetera, et cetera, et cetera. So those are 6 potential people that could be on the Elite Empire one day and be badass, right? So go for the no, guys. Like, what's the worst? A stranger is going to tell you no and then never talk to you again? Is that the worst thing that's going to happen? Because you didn't know that person 5 minutes ago. So it's not really going to change your life if they say no, but it's going to change your life if they say yeah. If they're like, yeah, absolutely. Like Stephanie G on my team that's on here with her fierce red hair right now. When she messaged me, it was like in the middle of the night, and I like read it so early in the morning because she's Cali time. And I was like, I don't want to scare her, but I want her to like join this second. Like, I love her. And I just was like, listen, you're going to think I'm weird, but I want you to join with me right now. Don't think about anything else. Don't even say no to me. Let's do this. What do you say? Bob, like, I like was in love with her, and I still am. She's like one of my best friends now. She's going to come stay with me in August. It's a relationship. It's real. And at the end of the day, if I had been scared to tell her how I truly felt about her message, because I was like, oh, I don't want to turn her off or think I'm a salesperson, like, would she be on this call right now? Would she be coming to my house in August? Would we have this relationship? No. So you have to go for no, guys. Stop being scared of no, because no means that you put your best foot forward. You went out there and you made your business a real business. Because if you think that all of the big people in the world, like Oprah or whoever else, didn't hear no 1,000 times, they did. Like, they probably still do. Just because they're that person doesn't make them the best thing in the world and everyone wants them. You know, there's going to be times where everyone has to hear no, and no makes you stronger. And I'm going to tell you, because after 2 years, I'm not scared of anyone telling me no. Like, I really am not. I'm more scared of myself not asking the question and finding out someone else signed up with someone else. And that's happened to me in the past. And it burns more than if I had gone to that person and put my best foot forward and said, listen, I'm being honest with you, and heard that they were like not ready or they weren't interested, than to hear that they signed up with someone else. Because that hurts way more than someone telling me no. And that's the bottom line. And at the end of the day, it all comes back down to the fact that if you are scared of hearing no, it's probably because you think you're offering something that's not legit. And if you really truly feel that way, then you're not in the right business, because you don't love Beachbody the way that you should. But if you love Beachbody and it's changed your life and it's changed your whatever, then you're offering something amazing to someone. And there's no reason to feel sorry for that or to feel like a salesperson, because you're doing the product. That's why being the product of the product is so important, because when you're doing the product, there's no, like, would you not want to share it with the people that are in front of you if you weren't going to make money? So say you weren't going to make money, you weren't going to make a team, there was no Beachbody behind the scenes thing, it was just Beachbody. This is all it was before, when it was just infomercials. Would you go to everyone and shout it through the rooftops and let them know how much weight you lost or how amazing you feel or what this program did for you if there was nothing behind it? Yeah, you definitely would. I know that I would. I did it before I knew there was coaching opportunities behind it, because I didn't know T25 had anything to do with Beachbody. So I had no idea what I was saying when I said it. I was so excited about it, though, because I had seen Elaine do it, and then I did it, and I was like, oh my God, I can't believe I did this. And I actually screenshot my time hop today that said, after Jackson, I give up on trying to lose my postpartum weight. It's never going to happen. I'm just going to live like this forever. I'm so depressed. That was my status after Jackson. I mean, that puts it all in perspective, right? Like, I honestly, when I did 225, had no idea I'd ever be back in shape or in shape at all, because I really was never actually in shape. And I was so excited that I would have told anyone that was going to listen. I met a guy that came here to do my pool liner, and he had no idea about Beachbody coaching. And he was just, we were talking about fitness and health, because I told him I was a health coach. I didn't say anything about Beachbody at first. And he was like, well, he showed me a picture of himself, heavy, and this guy was broad, like built, like insane. Like, I was scared of him. I was like, damn, like those muscles. And he showed me this picture of him, so huge. And I was like, that is not you. He's like, it totally was me. Like, I went through a divorce, blah, blah, blah. I'm like, that was you? And I'm like, what did you do? He's like, did you ever hear of P90X? And I was like, shut the fuck up. I can't even like filter that, because I was like, you don't even know what you just did in my mind right now. Like, you just blew me away, because although I know these programs work, I still get blown away by the results. I still do. I get blown away by my own. I looked at the before picture from a year ago in my time hop today, which was my first day of taking a picture postpartum to start my new journey. And I was like, you know, I think I don't get anywhere. And then I look at these pictures and I'm like, I definitely did. And my mom said to me the other day at the pool in my backyard, she's like, you changed so much since last summer. Like, you should be proud of yourself. And my mom does not say things like that at all. She's not that kind of mom. Anna's shaking her head because she knows. My mom's like, you look terrible. Like, you should put on some makeup. Like, did you brush your hair today? Like, stuff like that. She'll never say something positive. And I was like, I almost started crying. I'm like, oh my God, I definitely did change, because she would never say that. And the only other time she's ever said something nice like that was when I did T25. And I had abs, and I was so proud of them. And we went to Florida, and she's like, damn, you don't have a baby belly no more. And I was like, oh my God, I love you. So you have to like think about what these programs do for people, and you have to lead with that. Lead with that, because Danny didn't start Body Beast because of me, just so you guys know. It didn't just miraculous 2 years later. He was like, oh, you're so amazing, Angela. Let's do Body Beast together. He saw a before and after online of a coach who won or was featured in the infomercial, one of those things. And he was like one of the main Body Beast testers, I guess. And he looked like Danny in the before picture. And he looked like what Danny wants to look like now in the after. And he was sending it to me. He's like, dude, I'm going to cry. And he says, dude, because he calls me dude and bro. It's weird, I know. But we're so romantic. But he said, dude, I want to look like that. And if this guy did it, I can do it. And I was like, for real? Like, you live with Beachbody Queen. Like, what? Like, that's what it took. And he wrote a letter to this guy. And if you know Danny, Danny doesn't do things like this. And I was like, oh my God, like, you're obsessed. And he's like, really, literally, this guy hasn't answered him. And he's like jittering because he's like, he doesn't answer. Like, do you think he'll read it? Like, whatever. But anyway, the point is that he saw these results and he believed in it. And it took him to physically see it to believe in it. I can't physically change his mind because I'm not a man. So he sees what I do, he knows what I do, but he didn't believe in it until he saw it. So you have to think about that. You guys have to be transforming mind, body, soul. All of these things matter to make this business work. And that's really what it's all about at the end of the day. And this is just going to lead into the last thing I'm going to say to you guys, which dream your ability, right? That's what she said on the call. You have to dream in your ability. You have to believe that this is going to work for you and go all in. Because you know what? Honestly, if you would have asked me 2 years ago, and I know we all say this, but it's really important you understand, I never believed that I was a person who can make something work, especially from home, number one. Number two, just in general, like with health and fitness, like I looked at all of these people who I admire and I still follow, and I saw them make their own supplements, and I saw them get sponsored by people, and I thought, oh my God, that would be the coolest thing ever. And I even watched Starby forever, and I thought, like, oh my God, this girl's such a celebrity. And it's so funny right now because I'm like, oh my God, this girl's such a celebrity and everyone wants to hang out with her and she's never going to answer my message. And I even said to Danny, I'm like, maybe I shouldn't sign up with her because she's probably never going to answer me after I sign up. And I really want this business to work. Like, I'm serious. These are the things that came out of my mouth. But so I had no idea that I was going to be good at this. I had no idea that I'd be doing it 2 years later. I had no idea that I would be making the money that I make every week. And not only by the income that's by cycle, but also that people still sign up with me daily and weekly and monthly. And I hit Success Club for 24 months in a row. I mean, that's huge, guys. And not Success Club 5, Success Club 10. So if I can do it for 24 months, and I'm just going to add in, the only reason I didn't hit it 1 month was because someone returned something on the 31st of December, and I only had 10 points that month. So they took back my point, and I didn't have time to fix it. So that's the only time I didn't make quotations, Success Club 10, but that wasn't because I didn't make it. It was because someone used their whole entire 21-day fix and then said it didn't work when it did. But anyway, I don't have any hate for that person. No, none whatsoever. But, if I can do it for 24 months, anybody can do it. I did not sign up with this saying this is going to be my dream job. This is going to be the thing that saves me. This is going to be the thing that gives me a house. It's going to give me a third baby. It's going to give me this. I wanted those things. I dreamt about those things. I've desired those things, but I did not know that I would ever be home with my kids, being a mom only, being able to help other people and be a fulfilling job. I did not believe in that. I did not believe in MLMs. I never would have signed up with any other company and tried to sell something. I never have in my whole life tried to sell anything unless it was a job that I went to on a 9-to-5, like Staples or food, because I was waitressing, things that people showed up and tried to get for themselves, and I just sold it to them. But I never ever would have signed up with another company because I didn't have passion for selling to people or building a business. I just had passion for Beachbody. I loved it and I wanted to share that. So that's what it all comes down to, guys. Kayla says, that's how my hub is. After a flipping year tells my hubs to do 21-day fix with me, he finally randomly asked me to do it and is doing it. Yeah, honestly, like, it's crazy because I've been begging Danny for a long time. I mean, like, it's been like a year of therapy, and like, now you want to go to work out with me? Like, come on, we could have saved a ton on therapy. So, but that all comes back to it. Like, therapy is not really funny, but it is, because I do that as a personal development to our relationship. Like, we don't go because we have these crazy issues. Like, I'm being honest, like, we just have normal issues, but therapy is a good thing. Like, it's just something you go to every week and you get all of it out and you kind of just throw it all at each other. Someone mediates it, and then you cleanse yourself into your relationship, right? So it's all personal development. It's all mental development. It's all relationship and health and love development. If anyone thinks that like anybody's relationship, friend-wise, really like hubby, significant other, or with themselves is just rainbows and butterflies all the time. I think the only person, I'm going to be honest, is Anna. I don't know if her and her husband ever fight, and I don't know if she ever like hates herself. I think she's like the perfect person, but you know what? That's how I see her, and I don't know. I wouldn't know because she takes care of herself and she gets through the bad times. So that's what you need to remember, is that you come first and everything else comes second. But if you're taking yourself and putting them first and doing your product and doing your mental and doing your personal development, the invite in and network in just comes easy, and you're going to be excited to do it. And if you're excited to do it, you're going to add people, and then you're going to hit Success Club, and then you're going to add to your downline. But guys, last but not least, do not create a downline until you know you're going to show up to your business, because it's not fair. So create a downline with the intention of saying, I am a business owner. I own my business. I own myself. I own my day. There's 24 hours in a day. Make use of all of them. There are times I want to nap all the time, but I think if I nap, there's 3 hours or 2 hours or whatever it is that I am not going to get things done, and I'm not going to grow my business. I'm not going to answer my customers. I'm not going to check in with my coaches. I'm not going to be ready for a team call, and I'm not going to get my workouts in. So remember that. Like, don't waste your day. Everyone needs downtime, but you need to be motivated to make this work. You need to hustle until you don't have to hustle. I don't hustle nearly as hard as I did my first year, but I hustled for a year to 2 years nonstop to get to where I am now. And now it's kind of like chill. I'm just taking care of my stuff every day. But again, when I'm ready to like go all in again, I have to hustle again. It always is. You can ask Darby today. We were even talking, and she was hustling all day because she wanted to finish her Success Club 10. So if you think that we all don't do it behind the scenes, we do. We hustle. We just don't have to tell you guys all the time, because we just do it. We show up, and we don't have to explain it because you know we're showing up. You see it on the leaderboards, and you see it in our numbers. And that's really it, guys. That's what I have for you. But, you know, I hope that it like hits home, and I hope you take this with you and realize that like if you're Emerald, for example, you should never not be Emerald again. It's non-negotiable not to be Emerald again. You've already become Emerald. Why give up Emerald when you've already been Emerald? Why give up Diamond when you've already hit Diamond? I would never give up my Diamond. You would have to kill me before I'm not a Diamond coach anymore. I can lose my 1 star, my 2 star, my 3 star, because I can't control how you feel about your Diamond, but I would never lose my Diamond. It would be like the day that I quit Beachbody that I lost my Diamond, because I would never, if someone told me tomorrow my Emerald was falling off and it was my only Emerald and I was going to lose Diamond, I would stay up 24 hours in a row to make sure that that never happened. Like that, I've done it before. I don't do it anymore because I never would let my business is so solid because I would never let it happen. And I will keep growing it every single day because I always want my business solid. And that's just how I feel about it. And I love it. And it's my baby, and I grew it, and no one can take it away from me. So you have to feel that way about your business. Don't ever go backwards. Once you hit Emerald, you've already made that step. You've made that commitment. Stick to it. You've already made Success Club. How amazing does Success Club feel? Free customers, free commission. Why would you go backwards? Why would you go backwards knowing what you get, right? So that's the last thing I want to say to you guys. Like, I just want you to realize, like, once you feel the rush of Success Club and Emerald and so on and so forth, keep rolling with that. Denise keeps popping in or out, so I don't know if she hears me, but Denise has never not hit Success Club, because even last month, on the last day of the month, she was like, oh my God, you know what? F it. I can't not make Success Club. And she got 5 points in 1 day. I mean, come on, guys. If she could do it in 1 day, you guys can do it in a month. My son is coming out here and he's going to scream. Does anyone want to say anything? Does anyone want to ask a question or add anything? Oh my God. This is my whole life. Shh, what's wrong? All right, you know what? I'm going to mute myself for a minute. Anna, do you want to add anything? You're a Diamond coach now. You have to add something before we get off the phone. Welcome yourself into Diamond community by being a little leader for 1 minute and adding something to that.
I will say this. Another experience I had at work. Now, I go to work every day. I have my Shakeology water bottle. I drink my shakes every morning. I even have my a picture of my vision board up on my little cubicle. So, when was it? last Thursday. Last Thursday we had a company meeting, and I brought my shake. I actually posted about it because I wasn't going to eat what they had. So I had my shake, and I was talking to this one. I work for MetLife, so I work with a lot of financial advisors, and I was talking to this one woman who I always talk to. She's a rep. She hardly ever comes to the office, but when she does, we always talk. And I had said to her, and that's how I thought of the post, was like, oh my God, is it rude that I brought my own shake to this event? She's like, no, not at all. That was it. Well, she comes to me yesterday. She's like, oh my God. She's like, Anna, I know you drink shakes, and I just signed up for this program. And she starts telling me it's a 10-week program that she's doing, or no, 6-week program she's doing. And she told me it's called Hardcore Fit. So of course I go on the computer and I look it up, and it's some chiropractor guy, doctor that she knows. And she says, and he said something about some shake and Shakeology. I was like, what? And I lost it because I lost a client. I could have had her sign up with me, but even though I have everything Shakeology around my cubicle, I didn't talk about it, and I lost a customer. Although she did say that if she does order the shakes, that she's going to order them through me, because she paid like $200 for the program, and the meal plan is separate, and he's doing some sort of protein shake, and in addition, there's also Shakeology. So my point is, you need to talk about it, because don't just assume that if you're wearing a t-shirt or you have a bottle that people know what it is. So that's my 2 cents. And now it's silent. I think you guys could unmute yourselves if you want to talk. No? Mm-mm. Right.
Hi, Anna.
Hi, Stephanie.
I gotta get my kid out of the car. But I have something to add to that, not mentioning something and not bringing up something to somebody. Well, I did bring something up to somebody. I had brought up 21-day fix to her when I first signed up, and she couldn't afford it at the time. And I've kept, I've kept my communication with her, and I'm present on her page, and I've been following her because she started doing things on her own, like finding little workouts on the internet and stuff like that, and she's been losing weight. And I still compliment her every time, and I watch her videos and stuff. And she wanted to call me the other day, and I guess another Beachbody coach, he contacted her, and he told her that she'd make such a great coach and all that. And mind you, I've been talking to her for a while, but now she wants to sign up. And so maybe it's okay. I went ahead and answered all her questions, and she's like, well, that gives me a lot to think about. And I told her, of course, I wouldn't be offended if she went with this guy, but she needs to follow her heart and who she's going to relate to and who she's going to, because she just met this guy. So I've been, the last couple of days, I still pop in and talk to her, but I'm like, oh my gosh, I could have told her, how good of a coach she would have been, right. other than just trying to help her lose the weight.
Mm-hmm.
Hold on, baby. That's what I did to you, Stephanie. I was like, you'd be an awesome coach. Do it now. Don't give up. You need to get there right now and sign up. Don't even think about it, I bet if you guys tonight all made a list of 10 people, just 10, if you thought to say to them, I think you'd really like being a coach, but even the discount, either way, I think you could think of 10 people right off the bat that probably would say yeah to you, even if they don't say yeah today. They'll say yeah eventually. So think about that today, guys. Think about 10 people, either that you're already coaching, that's already doing the program, or someone on your page that would benefit from it, that wants a program or has asked you before, or even if they're just into fitness and health and they may just be interested to make money on the side. And who knows, the girl that I was told you about Instagram, the reason that she's just starting to get into coaching was because she needed to try the product. She was a gym rat, and we can all relate to that. And when she tried Insanity and Shakeology, she fell in love, literally right away. I'm telling you, if you talked to this girl before, when she messaged me, I was like, who are you? Because she was like, oh my God, Insanity was actually really hard. I couldn't do it. And oh my God, Shakeology is amazing. I can't live without it now. And I had no idea that she was going to react that way. But she did. And now she's like, let's do this. Let's go all in. I'm ready for this. I like this product. This is amazing. So you don't know, just because like I told you before, Anna was always into CrossFit and fitness, and she's always been in shape. So I was super afraid to ever approach her. She approached me about a 7-day challenge, and I literally almost peed my pants. Like, literally. I was like, oh my God, you want to do my challenge? Yeah, awesome. And like immediately I had presented to her, like, you should think about this coaching thing. I never thought you'd be into this, but if you like this, like, this would be awesome for you. And I wasn't afraid to tell her that. And it took her 6 months, but she did it. And, you know, she's my diamond coach now. So think about it, guys. Like, think about that. Think about all of the times I said no to Darby, and now I'm her coach. You know what I mean? Think about all the times she ignored Brittany, and now look at her. I mean, you have to think about that. And if someone of us didn't go to each other and say, you'd be really good at this, or I think that you'd like it, and you didn't plant that seed in people's heads, there would be no team. There'd be no elite empire. There'd be none of us. And the things that we do get to do with our income or our bodies or whatever, our fitness programs, would not exist. So you have to think of 10, that's your homework. For anyone on the call physically right now, I'm going to give you guys, I want you guys to all message me 10 people that you're going to not only think about, but you're going to reach out to tonight. I don't care if it's 7 o'clock or wherever time it is by you guys, 5 o'clock or whatever, do it. That's it. There's no time limit on reaching out to someone. There's no time frame on what time is good. It's not business hours. My best business hours are between 6 and 11 p.m. I don't know why, but people love talking to me at 11 o'clock at night. So, you know, just reach out tonight. Don't be afraid and go for no. Like, literally say something so outrageous that you like, this person's never going to answer me. They're never going to talk to me again. Because you know what? Those are the things that get people's attention. And those are the things that get people's wheels turning. And they're like, damn, you thought of me? You think that I'd be good at this? Like, and I promise you're going to get so many of those responses because it's insane. People don't realize what you notice. People don't know what you're worth until you tell them. And that's it. Let's end there. It's a good place to end. I hope that you guys got something out of this. But like I told you guys, if you're already a status, if you already made Success Club, if you already know the steps to make Success Club and be Emerald and be Diamond, and if you've already hit those steps because you get it, don't go backwards. The worst thing you could do in your life is go backwards. The coaches that don't make it are the ones that let themselves go backwards, because once you already have a taste for it and you don't have it anymore, it's really hard to get your momentum going, because it takes a very strong person to say, I just completely failed, so I'm going to make it better. It takes a very strong person, and I'm going to tell you, I'm a very strong person, and there were times that I didn't hit goals last year that I wanted to, and I was suffering, and I gave up for a long time on my business because I was like, you know what, I'm not cutting it. I'm not doing what everyone else is doing, and I'm not where I want to be. So, you know what, I'll just keep letting this ride out and take care of who's there, and that's it. And like, how silly is that, right? Like, how silly is it to hear that from me? But I felt that way before. So don't feel that way. Don't let yourself fail. Don't go backwards. Build your business, make it your baby, and go out there tonight and message 10 people. And you know what? I'll do it too. I will message 10 brand new people and say to them, you would make a great coach. I don't care if I find them on Instagram, on my Facebook, or if I've already spoken to them, or if they're my current customer, I will do it as well. And I will prove it to you guys, but you have to prove it to me and get it done, okay? Because last thing, I swear, what I really want to say is we're only as strong as our team, right? So at the end of the day, it is still a pyramid. It is still an MLM. It is still all those things. I don't like to compare to that and like say that's what we are, because we are better than that, because we don't have a script to follow, and we do what we say, and we are products of our products. But at the end of the day, we're only as strong as we all are. So as a team, we all need to commit to this for it to keep going, for it to keep growing, for it to keep being our babies and our life and our passion, and bring us home to our husbands and our wives and our kids, and keep making things happen in our bodies. And all of these things only happen when we keep doing it together. That's why this works. So you may not be on someone's direct downline or upline or whatnot, but at the end of the day, the vibe of our team is what keeps us going. So we are one big team. It doesn't matter where we are, how we are, what kind of coach we are. We're still a team. So discount coaches still matter, guys. And being Emerald and Diamond and all, it still matters. Success Club matters. It all matters. So let's all do it together. Let's all grow together. Let's all go to Summit like the best team ever, the strongest team ever, and mentally, physically, get it done. Let's just be like the badass coaches. Like, I was looking at the Elite 10 up in Bora Bora. I'm like, damn, they're all freaking hot. And they weren't all hot when they started. Not that they weren't hot, but they weren't all built and strong. They're built and strong because they do the product every day and they show up to their business every day. So remember that, okay? When you go and look at all these Bora Bora trips, it's because they all have those bodies because they stuck to their programs and they do their programs and they share their programs. So be strong mentally and physically, guys. It all comes together, I promise, right? Bye.